Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today we're reviewing the new Heybike Ranger 3.0, a fat tire, full suspension electric bike. I know it doesn't look like it, but it really does have honest-to-goodness suspension back there. Come along with us while we check this thing out. That full suspension is probably the most obvious upgrade over your basic standard 20-inch folding e-bike, since there are tons of models on the market right now that fit into this class. But most of those feature only front suspension, so going full suspension here is a big differentiator. I've tested a lot of folding fat tire e-bikes over the years, and I'll be honest, many of them start to feel like the same bike with a different sticker after a while, but the Heybike Ranger 3.0 Pro genuinely stood out for me, mostly because of that rear suspension, but there's other things here as well. It is a nice and rare combination of comfort, design, and thoughtful upgrades that make it feel less like a commuter tool and more like a mini adventure bike that you can take in so many different scenarios. Right off the bat, the most noticeable thing was just how comfortable the ride is. With the full suspension setup, hydraulic front fork, and a rear shock that actually works and is adjustable, paired with big 20x4-inch fat tires, this thing just floats over bumps, curbs, potholes, and even grass. In fact, the inclusion of full suspension means that I might have actually preferred 3-inch wide tires here for more nimble handling, but there's no denying that the extra cushioning you get from these 4-inch beasts is a nice upgrade, even if they do make the bike a bit heavier and more cumbersome, bringing the total weight up to about 75 pounds or 34 kilos. Now that comfort here really shines though, whether you're sticking to city streets or you're detouring through parks and light trails. Power-wise, the 750 watt rear hub motor, which is actually a 1200 watt peak rated motor, delivers solid torque and acceleration, and it can cruise up to 28 miles per hour with pedal assist or 20 on throttle alone. You do need to go into the settings to access the higher speed availability, since it ships in Class 2 mode with a 20 mile an hour or 32 km per hour speed limit even on pedal assist, and while you're in there in the settings, there are lots of other interesting features and dials you can play with to customize your bike's performance. Basically, the bike is fun, fast, and has enough punch for everyday riding, and some fun adventure-style riding too. Alright, now this is a folding bike, so I think it's only right we fold it up. Start up with the handlebars here, there's a safety to lift. Fold those down. Down at the middle here, another safety. Open that folding lever up. Now it should bend in half. Let's fold it hamburger style. Oh, and it weighs a half of a metric ton, so it's easier said than done, but there we go. All folded. Not terrible, also not the simplest thing to do when it's this heavy. Design-wise, Heybike has done a good job here. The frame looks clean, it hides the wiring pretty darn well, and it folds down small enough to fit into a trunk, though because it's 75 pounds, you're not going to be tossing it around effortlessly. But at least the folding mechanism is fairly smooth and it feels pretty sturdy. Now the battery here, that is a 48 volt 15 amp unit with Samsung cells, and I like how it's accessible without having to fold the bike. Heybike claims that you'll get up to 90 miles of range, which I'll tell you is a lofty pipe dream unless you're pedaling way harder than the motor is working. But I can tell you I was getting more like 40 miles of extrapolated range with real-world riding of mixed throttle and some light pedal assist usage, where I was using the torque sensor to let me do a lot of the work myself with that really intuitive pedaling, and relying on the motor just for assist like the good Lord intended. But of course, it's fun to also just go fast on the bike and let her rip on the throttle sometimes, like the good Lord eventually figured out was an even better time, and so definitely expect your range to drop in those conditions where you're relying on the throttle for some really fun, faster riding. Still though, a 720 watt-hour battery is pretty solid, and the fact that it's UL certified means you get some extra peace of mind there, especially now that battery safety certifications are becoming more important in the US e-bike market, and some cities and states are actually starting to require them. Another one of the standout features here is the IP65 water resistance. Most folding e-bikes in this price range are more of a try not to get it caught in the rain situation, though more and more bikes are promoting their IP water resistance rating. At IP65, this is not a pressure washer proof bike, but for normal rain and puddles, you're probably covered. You also get some pretty nice hydraulic disc brakes here and an 8-speed Shimano drivetrain. Not boutique components, but solid, dependable stuff that definitely elevates this ride to feel more confidence-inspiring. Then there's the tech, and this is where things get pretty interesting and somewhat unique. The Ranger 3.0 Pro comes with NFC card unlocking and a PIN code system built into the display. It's an almost scooter-like feature that adds a layer of theft protection. Personally though, I found myself wishing I could just hop on and ride without having to swipe that NFC card every time. I'd love an option in the settings to just completely disable it, but if you're someone who parks your bike a lot in public, I definitely could see it as a nice security perk. At $1,499, the Ranger 3.0 Pro is not the cheapest fat tire folding e-bike out there, but it's definitely one of the most affordable full suspension models that doesn't feel like it cut every corner. Between the dual suspension, UL certification, hydraulic brakes, water resistance, the colored display, and the solid components, you're getting a well-rounded package that balances comfort, safety, and performance. It's not ultra light, and the smart features might be a bit much for some riders, but overall, I'd say the execution here is solid. Plus, Heybike has been around for many years now, and they don't feel like one of these fly-by-night companies, so I'm getting pretty comfortable with them. I've even had the chance to visit their headquarters in Shenzhen and meet a lot of people from the company, and they're a pretty cool crowd. Whether you're commuting across town or just want a capable weekend explorer, the Heybike Ranger 3.0 Pro is a great option that punches far above its price tag. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that review of the Heybike Ranger 3.0. If you did, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.